want to do y'all a video. I think it's very important. Most of y'all know I am a studying herbalist, which means I'm an herbalist continuously studying to learn more about herbalism. And for me, my journey on herbalism comes straight from our Creator, Yahuwah. He created the herbs for us in the first place to bring healing and mending and help and ease to those of us that we know that pharmaceuticals are they're poison. Okay, they can go in there and they can subside or lay dormant a pain or a disease or whatever. The pharmaceutical poisons treat the symptoms. They don't treat the actual cause. And that's true of the most of them. And the problem with pharmaceutical poisons, because that's what they are, they may help in a certain area that they're supposed to help in. But have you actually, honestly read the fine print, the side effects, what else these pharmaceutical prescriptions can cause? It's very unnerving and alarming when you actually take the time out to read in the fine print. You see, Yahuwah, our Creator, that's His true name, He gave Noah, what English calls Noah, a book way back in the day, and this is in the book of Yovelim. This is not included in the 66 books of scripture that they allow us to have. This is in one of the removed books, and it was removed for a reason, because it contains so much de'oth, knowledge, and chakmah, wisdom for us. And he gave Noah a book, and it was about the herbs and what they were to use to cure and to heal and to mend with. So I like to say, and I mean this is my own personal thoughts, that Noah was the first herbalist. So I think that's pretty cool. So I don't use my herbalism for the wrong. I use my herbalism for the righteous and for the right doing. You know, I want to help folks. So this video is about the formula that I have put together for menopause. And of course it's called something else, you know, but in the herbalism terminology, we can't use certain words that's associated with the medical system and all that hoo-ha. So let me do a little disclaimer here. I ain't a doctor. I ain't a nurse. I was a veterinary assistant at one time, so I was kind of like an animal nurse. But I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not telling you to stop taking anything is your decision, okay? You do what you think is right for you. I'm not telling you, and I ain't going to take responsibility for what you choose to do and not to do past this point. Okay? I have to say that. There's your disclaimer. All right. I have been suffering. I've been going through the change for, golly, 4 years now. And it really hit me about 4 years ago. I started putting on weight, unexplainable. And I started getting weight in places I never had to worry with before. Now, I've had youngins, so, you know, that's to be expected with a lot of us, you know, as a woman, to obtain in certain areas, blah, blah, blah. But I started obtaining weight in certain areas where I never had to, it was never a worry before. And then I couldn't shake it. I couldn't get rid of it. And I didn't know what was going on. And my moods were all over the place. And so, and then I started having bad teeth health and everything like that. And, you know, and I've never had really bad teeth ever. And that went on for a while. And then I got to really researching stuff about menopause and the change, perimenopause. I guess that's what I'm in right now. Because I still, you know, as a woman, still have to deal with the monthly thing when it decides to show up. And yes, this is very detailed. So if there's any man out there watching this, including my Ashi, my husband, my darling, my beau, sorry, honey. But, so perimenopause, I think that's what I'm in. But I started dealing with, other than weight gain and hard to get rid of weight, like a roller coaster ride. I can lose it and gain it back, lose it and gain it back. Hormones are horrible when it comes to a certain point in your days. So I pulawed, what English calls prayed, to Yahuwah, our Creator, asking Him to help me. Because I was dealing with these hot flashes so often, and in the most embarrassing times, they would just come on me. Like if I was checking out, you know, in the grocery store or something like that, I'd have a hot flash. And all of a sudden, I felt my face turn fire red and then sweat. And it's like, oh my gosh, I know they can see this. You know, this is so uncomfortable. And they're going to think I'm weird and crazy. But the woman behind the register, she kind of figured it out. So I kind of felt safe with her. But when you had a bag boy that was a man or a young boy, you kind of like, oh, you know, like, no, they can see me sweating and wiping it from my face. And so it was very embarrassing. And at night, or sitting at the table, all of a sudden one would come on me and my husband would start fanning me, you know, because he's just that type of man. He's a darling. But I started different herbs in search of the formula I needed. And I'd read up on it, of course, read up on it. So I started taking ashwagandha. Okay, that's always a tove, a fine herb to get into your system if you ain't allergic. Now you have to make sure you ain't allergic to none of these. Okay, there's 5 herbs in this formula, and I know this is kind of a long drawn out video a little bit, but you have to know this. There's 5 that I have put together, and I had started trying them here and there because the best thing to do is to have all 5 of these herbs and to start on them individually to make sure you're not going to have an allergic reaction to any of them. So take ashwagandha for 3 days, and as long as you don't have an allergic reaction within the first dose or the second, you know, take it for at least 3 days to make sure you're fine. All right, and then you're going to take the other one. Same amount of time, you know, you can take them together. Well, no, don't take them together. That defeats the point, don't it? So you will take one, say ashwagandha, for 3 days. There's no allergic reaction, put it to the side. Then I want you to try the other one. Do the same thing by itself, put it to the side. You want to do that with each individual herb to make sure there's no allergic reaction. Because if there is, you don't need to put this together. This is the only formula that I have found that, like I said, I believe our Creator Yahuwah gave me this formula because it has brought me so much relief. I only have had one hot flash within, golly, 2.5 months, something like that. And it was because I didn't forget, but I just didn't take my formula that morning. So this is a barakah, a huge gift for a woman. Now, I ain't saying this is going to work on every single woman. We're all different. And here's another thing. I ain't on no prescriptions. I'm not on any pharmaceutical poison prescriptions. So that leaves my body open to be able to take or try what I need to without any adverse reactions to any pharma hoo-ha. That's another thing. You're going to have to make sure that any of these herbs, if you're going to continue to, you know, take your prescriptions and stuff like that, I'm not telling you not to, but you're going to have to make sure none of these herbs interact with any of that poison. And a lot of people ain't going to like that I call it poison. Well, it's the truth. Do your own research. So now I'm fixing to turn the camera because I think it would be easier for you to see every herb I have up here. And I call this my menopause formula. Okay? And this is what works for me. And once I got all these herbs and I started taking them together, and I put them together in an 8-ounce bottle, and I just do equal parts of each herb. It wasn't long. It was probably within the first week I noticed a difference. And sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes it might take shorter. But I've already had these herbs in my system for a while, for taking them for different things. So my system was used to them. So the combination of them was what I needed. I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I'm going to turn the camera and show you. In my menopause formula, there is ashwagandha, there is licorice root, red clover, yarrow, and black cohosh. That is my menopause formula for hormonal balance as far as hot flashes go. Now the weight thing I'm still trying to work on. It is not easy. I mean, it's so not easy. I used to be able to drop weight. Of course, I worked out a lot back then. I did a lot of walking, a lot of just, you know, to myself, workout, stretching and toning and stuff. Just nothing stupid or serious, you know, over the board. Just I used my body as my own weights, in other words. I didn't use weights or a gym or any of that stuff. I used my body as my own weight. And I would be able to drop weight and tone up and all this and that. But like I said, when I entered perimenopause, everything changed. Everything. So I know most of you that are a woman out there will understand this. All right, let's turn the camera, show you what to put in it, and what I put in mine. This is what I do. Do your own research. You know, I can't stress that enough. And make sure you ain't allergic to any of this. But I am so sick and tired of people not sharing with other people something that can help you. I want to be on here to help you with whatever I can. I don't want to keep it to myself. I don't want to, you know, make currency off of it. If I can help someone, I'm going to help someone. The first and major truth of sharing with y'all is our Creator's true name, Yahuwah, and his only being, Yahusha. That's the main truth I can share with you. After that, I will share with you stuff I find out in the world and herbalism and stuff that will help you in that perspective. And there's also enjoyable things like crochet and stuff like that. And of course, farming and all that. But I want to help you. That's my point. That's why I'm here. Not to get likes and comments and you know, subscribers and all that. This ain't a TV show. This ain't my reality show. This is me just trying to help you or bring some type of gladness to you. That something that you can look at and say, you know, I could do that. That'll make me feel better. But learn the first truth first. All right, let's get to it. Now, something I do on every single bottle that I make, every tincture I give away, every balm or salve or you know, anything I give away that I make, I will put Halal'YAHUAH on it, because halal is the Avri word for praise, and Yahuwah is our Creator's name. Now, I wrote this on my bottle like this because Avri is read from right to left. So that says halal, and then Yahuwah's name in the Aramaic language.
Yeah, really. Language.
Cole, go over there. I'm trying to do this, please. So this is my menopause tincture. Like I said, it has ashwagandha, yarrow, licorice root, red clover, and black cohosh. Okay, so I still have ashwagandha steeping right there, but it's ready. What I'm going to simply do is just take a big syringe and open up my jar, because I need to strain it, but right now it's still in there, and I'm just going to draw what I need out of the top of the jar, and I'm going to put it here in my 8-ounce amber bottle, because it's empty. I just took the last of it today, which is perfect because I needed to throw it together. Now, I always try to make my own tinctures. I either grow it here or harvest it wild on the farm. We have so many that Yahuwah just has growing wild here on the farm. But if I don't have something ready, like my black cohosh tincture, it's not ready. So I'll order from a known source, and this is from the Homegrown Herbalist. No, I'm not trying to, you know, associate them. I am a student of theirs, yes, that is true. But that's not the point. I need a replicable, or I need a very trustworthy company I can go to and not buy it by mistake from some witch off of Etsy or something. Not everybody on Etsy is a witch. That's not what I'm saying. But the majority of herbs you get off of Etsy come from witches. It's just the sad fact and truth. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. So anyway, I've got my black cohosh tincture from Homegrown Herbalist because, like I said, mine's not ready yet. Here's my yarrow. Here's my red clover, my licorice root, and then my ashwagandha, and then, of course, the black cohosh. So all you're going to do is you're going to combine equal parts of all these tinctures into this 8-ounce amber jar. I'll show you, okay, because I've got to put it together myself. Hang on. Okay, I turned my little lamp on over here. Now, I have the syringe for the ashwagandha. I have a little funnel. It's a little stainless steel funnel. Most of the time you'll get a few of them if you order any amber jars, any small ones. I don't think I've ever got one with a 32-ounce amber jar. So what you're going to do is you're going to eyeball it. You want equal amounts of all these herbs. And if you go over a little bit, don't freak out. It'll be fine, okay? So you basically look at your jar, and you want to divide it up into 5 parts. If you want to do that and put like a little slip of tape somewhere like right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. You know, that's basically your 5th right there. So you're just going to eyeball it. Now, the first one, it would probably be about right here. You know, it can't be a 1/4 of the jar because you've got to do a 5th. So you want to go right below a 1/4 of the jar. So it'd be right here. So I'm going to simply take my little bottle here of black cohosh. And it doesn't matter which one you start with. Now I've got to pay attention to what I'm doing and also watch this for y'all. And you're just going to start to pour this into there. And it might take this whole little bottle of 2 ounce or might not. Let's see where we're at. It's kind of hard for me to see. Okay. I'm going to put just a tad bit more in there, okay? Let's see how much more of this I've got in my own jar. Alright, so let's put a little bit more of that in there. So you're just going to pour it up here. Okay. Alright. I think that is fair right there. And you'll do this a lot quicker because you won't be recording yourself doing this more than likely. You won't anyway. Now, that's fine. I have a little bit left over. And you don't have to put the whole bottle in there because you got a little bit left over. You might need that for something else, so keep it for next time. Okay, I'll pick up that little cap in just a second. You want to put your cap back on as soon as you're done because of the fact you might spill it. Alright, now I'm going to take the lid off of here and I'm going to draw out what I think I need in this syringe, which will probably fill up the whole syringe, and then I'll push it through and I'll see how much I get. Okay, so hang on. Alright, I got a whole syringe, which is like 25 cc's. So I'm just going to take it, switch hands here, because this is one-handed. And I'm going to push this in the top, right here. And I'm just going to push it down real easy. Don't spill your bottle, for Pete's sake. Just ease it in there. And see what you got. And I know it's kind of hard because of this lighting situation. Okay, I can put a little bit more ashwagandha in there. See, it's an 8-ounce bottle, so you don't want to put a full 2 ounces in something, okay? Because then you only have room for 4 of your herbs instead of 5. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, that's plenty. Put the rest of it back into my ashwagandha and put the lid on that so I can strain it later. Okay. Now, we're going to simply grab either my yarrow, red clover, or licorice. Doesn't matter which one. Grab this one here, the licorice root. Okay. All right, take the lid off of that one. Now, I'm going to be watching what I'm doing here instead of the camera. Okay, I'm going to try to have an aim for y'all, though. Okay, that's about right. All right. Now, I'm going to put a tad bit more licorice in there. Just a tad. Okay, perfect. So now you see how much you got left. That space right here, you have that left. That is enough for 2 more herbs. And these are already tinctured, okay? You want them to be already tinctured when you do this, to have it to be able to use right away. Okay, this is my red clover. I'm going to be watching it. Alright, and my battery's fixing to die on me. So now I'm going to grab my yarrow. I'm going to pour it. I'm going to finish filling up the jar. Do not fill it exactly to the tippy top because you need some room to shake it a little bit. But you can pretty much get it up there. Okay. Well, I said don't fill it up to the tippy top, and I did. Alrighty. Okay. So now all you're going to do is take the little funnel off. And I did fill it to the top. And you're going to put your thumb on it. And you're going to shake it back and forth. Or the safer route would be just to put the lid back on it and shake it back and forth. Yeah, just put the lid on it. Don't do as I do. Like I said, I'm holding the camera and trying to eyeball this. I filled it to the very top. Don't fill it to the very top. Fill it to the right there at that little lip right there. Fill it right underneath that. That way you can shake it better. I'll be able to mix this because I just will. But that's how you put together my menopause herbal formula to that, that I take. I take it for hot flashes. That's the main thing I take it for, and that's exactly what it helps me with. It helps me with that. It helps me with other things, I'm sure. But one of my main things was hot flashes. And they're miserable at night. They're miserable when you have to go out in the public. They're just miserable when you're working on the farm, trying to get things done, or you're cleaning house, or talking to your husband. Yeah, I just got cut off. So anyway, yeah, this is why I'm giving y'all this. I want to bring y'all some relief from the hot flashes. So if you're a woman out there and you want to give this formula a shot, go for it. But like I said, I can't and I won't be responsible for anything you do to your body. That's a choice that you have to make for yourself. I am fine, but that's me. I'm on no pharma poisons, but that's me. And I give Yahuwah all the halal for that. I was on blood thinner pharma poison. I was on high blood pressure pharma poison. That's the first thing I took myself off of. That's what I was on. And I went to cayenne pepper tincture and the hawthorn berry tincture for that. And I'm fine. I still take cayenne every day, twice a day. I still take hawthorn berry. I probably take it maybe once or twice a week now, instead of every day, twice a day. But because I know that I'm just very, Yahuwah is just mending me on the inside. So this is to help y'all. This is my menopause tincture formula. And I wanted to share it with y'all. So, there's nothing more else I can really say. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but I really do desire that this helps someone out there to bring you relief. Now, like I said, you have to give it time. You have to, herbalism is not an overnight pill or an hour pill, okay? You have to give this time to work. But this is what I feel led to do. So, with that being said, y'all have a fine night. I've got chores to do here on the farm, and I got to get to it. So, Shalom from Hilltop Hollar, y'all. That's right. Halal'YAHUAH. All right, y'all are probably wondering how often you should take it because I kind of forgot to include that a while ago. Sorry about that. Now what I do is, I know it's a little dark. Sorry. I take a teaspoon in the morning, and I take a teaspoon at night. Now I use the same teaspoon to measure out my tincture. I don't bounce around from one teaspoon to another. I use the same teaspoon. I use basically one of those, like, you know, little measuring teaspoons that you can get, a quarter of a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon, or whatever. And I use the same one. Now, if I was doing droppers, I would probably be taking 120 drops. Because about that averages about a teaspoon. About 120 drops if you're using a dropper. But that's what I do. And I do it once in the morning and once at night. Now, if you forget to take it, say it's 12 o'clock or whatever, don't freak out. Just take it when you remember. It's not like on a time system. It just needs to be in the body. And it needs to be in the body, you know, regular. It's got to be a daily thing. You don't need to forget 3 or 4 days and expect it to work. But that's what I do personally. That's how I take my tincture. That tincture right there, the menopause formula. That's how I do it. A teaspoon in the morning, or 120 drops, and a teaspoon at night, 120 drops. Okay. Shalom from Hilltop Hollar, y'all. Halal'YAHUAH.